Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. Hi, Ru. Hi, Ayoung. Karine, Kaka. Thanks for joining. Hi, Rita. Thank you all for joining. Let's see here. I'm so glad today I didn't go through the typical challenges that I would normally go through as a not very social media friendly person. But I'm glad we are connecting now. Ben Sheila, thank you for joining. Thank you all for joining. So let's just give a couple of minutes. Hopefully, more people will join and then we can get started. Joseph, hi. Thank you for joining. All right. I'm just going to write a text and pin it there and then we can get going. Tamba, Julia, thank you for joining. Marcel, thank you for joining. Marcel, hi, Anne. Hi, Kelechi. Thank you for joining. And as you join, please kindly click the share button, share so that others can connect as well, so we all will benefit from this session. This topic that we want to address today, it's a very, very sensitive topic in this agile space. It's very sensitive. So some people may not agree with me today, but I just have to share with you my own perspective. Prince, thank you for joining. Happy Sunday. Nadine, happy Sunday. Thank you for joining. Dougie, Oluchi, happy Sunday, and thank you for joining. Alvina, welcome everyone, and thank you all for joining. We will be starting in a minute here or two. All right, so I'm just gonna put a message, pin a message on the chat box there for those who may need it. All right. Please keep sharing, keep sharing. Thank you. Mommy Mary, thank you for joining. All right. Hi, Shuvik. Thank you for joining. Viviane, Jean Philippe. Thank you for joining. All right. So this is going to be our agenda for today. I'm going to start with discussing my topic, and then we'll leave room for we'll leave room for any discussion, any question and answering here. I'm always very excited to connect with you all live, and this is something that I may be doing. I would find a schedule, a consistent schedule around this, but for now, there is none. Yeah. So it's becoming a little bit challenging to sit down and dedicate time to make a video, send it over to the content strategies to edit and all of that. It's becoming a little bit challenging, but I still want to be able to show up here and, provide you the best. So we may be using the strategy, but again, we're working on a consistency. We're working to come up with something consistent. All right, MN. I am happy to battle. Thank you. I'm also happy. Pamela, thank you for joining. All right. So Sheila. So if you see any message coming from Sheila regarding direction on if you are looking to enroll and participate in our February class, upcoming class, if you see any message coming from Sheila, please trust it. It's not a spam. So she will be helping out with that's Pen Sheila. She'll be helping out with, maybe sharing any information on direction on how to enroll into our programs. So please, if any message is coming from Sheila, Pen Sheila, that's Pen Sheila. Trust that message. All right. Thank you all so much. Let's get started, please. So again, go ahead and share so others will join. Go ahead and share, please. Go ahead and share. Annie, thank you for joining. So today, let's talk about velocity. We are going to be talking about velocity. Like I said, this is a very sensitive topic in the agile space. It's a very sensitive topic. And the reason why it is sensitive, because there is a lot of misconception regarding this particular topic. Usually, this misconception stems from leadership. And then Scrum teams start struggling or facing challenges as a result of the misconception from leadership, and also misconception from people like agile practitioners who don't have a good understanding of this velocity topic, but yet still choose to want to transfer whatever shallow idea they have regarding the velocity in the organization. There is something that I usually say: if you don't understand it yourself, you cannot teach it. If you find it difficult to explain it to someone, then you don't know it enough. If you explain things to people, or if you're struggling with explaining something to somebody, then you don't even have to explain it, because it means you don't know it yourself. You see. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you. Yeah. So I have done a lot of studies on this whole velocity topic before I decided to talk about it today. I've done a lot of homework. I've done a lot of studies. I've done a lot of research. And again, not everyone has to agree with me on this topic. But again, I just have to share my own understanding. And as you know, the way we do it here, I would appreciate if, as we get along, people would, whatever you think regarding this topic, use that comment section to share your thoughts so we all can learn. One of the reasons why I decided to bring this here today, I was in a meeting last week. And as the meeting was progressing, we're discussing status updates. For some reason, we're discussing status updates. And in line of, as the conversation was going on, one of the leaders in the organization said something. Okay, so I asked, so all the status updates we are talking about, how can we better, so how good are we leveraging our tools, whatever tool they are using? Jira, Azure DevOps, how well are we leveraging these tools to be able to keep leadership in the know? Because if leadership is coming back to you all the time to ask for status updates, it means that there's something you're not doing right. You're not, from a seven leadership standpoint, as a team, you people are short of communication. That's why they keep coming back. And these tools have been designed to help us to make our lives easy, so that in one place we can track the progress of our work and track issues very easily. So how well are we leveraging these tools? So in the course of this discussion, the velocity topic popped up, and one of the leaders said something. Yeah, I think it would be great if we, get to start digging more into these tools and start leveraging them, as we look to increase the velocities of our team. Okay. I'm like, okay, increase velocity of your team. All right. Let's see how that goes. All right. So that's one thing. That's just a typical line you will hear in organizations. They are always looking to increase the velocity of teams. That's one point. Let's take that down. Pay attention. And then another topic that this velocity thing always stems from, when new Scrum Masters join the team, right? Or coaches, they may join an organization. And then in the process of setting performance goal, when you join your organization in the beginning of the year, they would want to set performance goal, which that's what they will use to measure how good you've been doing at the end of the year. So they would typically set that goal, you and your boss, your supervisor, you people will sit together and set a goal. And then as you are progressing working with that organization, that's going to be what you will be. You will keep reviewing to ensure that you're working towards meeting the goal that you've set for yourself, that's what you're looking to achieve in the next 1 year, right? And then I noticed that most teams, seven leaders and their bosses, part of whatever they are setting as their performance goal, part of it would be increase team velocity. So they are looking there, so they are putting it there, writing it down, hoping that Scrum Masters will increase their team velocity. I even saw a number, increase team velocity from 40% to 60% in the next 3 months. That was the goal. So John Smith think it's possible to increase team velocity. Okay, that's a good thought. Let's keep going and see what comes out of it if they are practicing aggressive Scrum. All right, we will discuss that, John, but thank you for participating. So I also encourage everybody, keep using that comment section. Once I'm done sharing what I have, and then we will go through it together, we will dig and find out what is in this topic for us. Yeah, so these are the two key things that triggered me to want to come here and let's discuss this topic, so that maybe at the end of this session we can put this topic to rest once and for all. We may become the next velocity god and goddess. You never know. Yeah, so number one, like I mentioned, leadership is always looking to increase, hoping that the Scrum Masters will increase team velocity as they are setting performance goal for their direct reports. Scrum Master, for example, they are putting in their velocity, their thing that, okay, they are looking, the Scrum Master, you will have to help the team increase their velocity from 60% to 80%, as an example. All right. In my opinion, if I see this kind of goal that you've set for yourself, you're already heading to failure. You know why? Because normally you cannot increase team velocity. Surprise. You really cannot increase team velocity. Not that it's not possible. It is possible, but under certain circumstances, which we will be addressing. It's only under certain circumstances that you may be able to increase team velocity. You see? But normally, if you're doing Agile right, you cannot increase team velocity. And I will explain. The reason why you cannot increase team velocity is just because it is what it is. The same as capacity, you cannot increase your team capacity unless you're saying that you're adding more people to the team. And then that's when you're increasing the team capacity. Unless you're saying that, that's one of the ways you can increase team capacity. It's just the same for velocity. Let me tell you the circumstances surrounding you being able to, as a team, increase your velocity. Let me explain it. The only way you can increase your team velocity, if at all it is a possibility, is if you're adding new people to your team. And adding new people to your team doesn't necessarily mean that the velocity will increase. Another way you can increase your team velocity is if you people have never known your true average velocity. You can only increase your team velocity, and which means you're not even increasing it. You just finally found your average velocity. That is, if you have formed your teams, right? You've now achieved a stable team where people don't keep moving in and out of the team. And then you start working towards identifying your average velocity until you finally discover that true average velocity. Then we expect your velocity to be stable at that point. But if every sprint you keep going up and going up, or going down and going down, then you haven't discovered the true average velocity. I've highlighted two ways you can think that you can increase your velocity. The third factor that may influence the increase or decrease of your velocity is if You people are not doing estimation right. You people don't understand what estimation is. If you truly understand your estimation technique, for example, the relative estimation technique, which is the most recommended in the agile space, if you truly understand your estimation technique, and you have together as a team, you have found that sweet spot, understanding the basis of estimation, and then again, we are not looking for perfection here. We understand that it may never be perfect, right? So, but if you people have a good understanding of the basis of estimation, and then you're estimating right, again, estimate is just a guess, so there is nothing like perfect estimation. You're estimating right with everybody being on the same page. You should be able to, in the course of 3 sprints to 5 sprints, establish your average velocity. Assuming that that average is, let's say, 40, and then the next sprint you move from 40 to 80. The next sprint, you move from 80 to 10. You still haven't found your average velocity. You're not increasing velocity at that point. You're just, your team, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing. So you will be working towards establishing that, towards identifying your average velocity, that baseline, and settle on it. So those are the circumstances which your velocity, you can be thinking that you're working towards increasing your velocity. Now, back to our original topic. Let me explain why you cannot increase velocity. That is, if your team is stable, if your team understands their estimation, they are doing it right. And then what was the third point that I mentioned? And then you have identified your baseline, right? These 3 things. If you have all these things in place, the reason why you cannot increase velocity is because you as a team looking to increase velocity is even the wrong goal you're working towards achieving. The reason why we do Agile is not to look for velocity. That's not why we are leveraging Agile. We are leveraging Agile to add value, to increase value, not velocity. And velocity usually doesn't necessarily translate to value all the times. So, but the goal is to deliver high quality, or to increase the value delivery to our customers and to our business faster. High quality value. Come to think of it, let's use a specific example. Assuming that you're looking to, so for those who have been in my program, they know that I use my phone as an example a lot. All right. So you're looking to create this phone, right? As a team, the goal for this sprint is to create this phone. And then you all have started, you put this in your sprint backlog, and then you started the work. Now you're working. At the end of the sprint, so it was your first time of creating the phone though. This is your first time. You've never done this work before. So everything is pretty new. It's complex. The understanding is not very clear. So you start doing the experimenting. You start the work. Assuming that you estimated this phone to create this phone as a 5-story point, right? It's a 5-story point phone. And then you started doing the work in the course of the sprint. You did the work. At the end of that sprint, yeah, you achieved this. Whatever you estimated, it was okay. You realized that it was accurate. Your estimation was accurate. You were able to achieve the goal of creating the phone. Great. The next sprint, the work you people still have to do. Now your customers are impressed. They are so happy that you were able to create the phone. You know, you people tested it and it worked, and the customers were so impressed. Now the customers even gave you people more work. Now you have more work to do because you've made your customers happy. Now they gave you more phones to do. The next sprint, you were tasked again to create this phone. Now that you know what it takes to create the phone because of history, right? You've done it in the past. You originally estimated it at 5. And the reason why you originally estimated it at 5 was because based on the basis of estimation, the complexity, the effort and risk involved, all these things together, you put it at 5. Now that you have history, you have empirical data, you now understand what it takes to create the phone. you have discovered, you've maneuvered your way through some of the complexities. Now you know how to go about it. You don't necessarily need to spend so much time digging for information and all of that. So it means that the complexity has reduced, right? And then the risk involved has reduced. Okay. All right. So now you know what it takes to do the work. So the risk has reduced, the complexity of the work has reduced. You will not still want to estimate the phone at 5. You see, that's the velocity we are talking about, because it's the number of story points that will give you your velocity. The total number of story points that you want to work on in that sprint, it will give you the velocity, right? So you're not going to estimate this phone again at 5, right? Because now the complexity has reduced, the risk involved has reduced. Maybe the effort will reduce, because now you may even take faster to do the work, since you now understand what it takes and it's something you're just repeating. The effort may drop from maybe 6 hours to 5 hours. With all of that in mind, it means that the estimate, the story points, you may not give 5 again. You may allocate 3 instead of 5. As you do that, what will happen? What do you think will happen to your velocity, to your total velocity? Your total velocity will drop. Imagine that your total velocity for that sprint was 5, as an example. Now that you have learned, you know better, and then your total velocity, then you estimate the phone at 3 instead of 5. It will affect, that's the velocity now. You affect the velocity. It will be 3, not 5. And then now that you understand that if your average, let's assume that your average velocity is supposed to be 5, you will now go and pull in more work into the sprint. You can now go add additional work, which would be a 2, right? To fill in that new space that you people have created as a result of the good job you are doing. You see? It will still stay at the 5. It means that you're only able to take in more work, because your velocity has, for this phone now, has dropped. The velocity has dropped to 3, from 5 to 3, because now you know better. And then you can now take in one more story, a 2-side story, to fill in that space for your average velocity of 5. So now you see, the velocity did not increase. The velocity rather dropped, and they were able to take in more work. So how can you increase velocity though? But I hope you all are understanding that with all of these, you were able to increase value, because you added work, but the velocity did not increase, because you only created more space to bring in more story points, because you estimated the repetition of this work lower than what you originally estimated. But the velocity did not increase, but the value increased. The value people will be delivering increased. And usually value is somehow invisible like that. Does that even make any sense? Does that even make any sense? So if anyone has any question around what I just said, that's why we are here. I will be so more than glad to clarify. So if you are in an organization, right? If you're in an organization and then they are so big, because sometimes you would see this leadership management will be coming after the team. Like, for the past 1 year, you've been working and your velocity is still at 60. It means you people are not doing anything. You are not improving. You're not improving. That's what they'll be saying. So as a Scrum Master or a coach in that organization, what will you do in that situation? You cannot even, because I will not blame them. I'm not going to blame leadership, because that is the problem I see most organizations face. We have the Scrum Masters in organizations. They will join the train of people to complain. They will join the train of people to complain. They will be complaining. Leadership keep asking. They think we are not doing anything. It's demotivating. They'll be doing all this. Instead of, so remember, so do you know why those people even hired you? They hired you because they need you to come and help them do it right. They didn't hire you. If they were already doing it right, why would they hire you? You see? So my suggestion is, if you join an organization and you see all these anti-patterns, which like this velocity, typical example, you see, of what we are discussing. If you see these things, you have to take it upon yourself, take the initiative to address the issue. Help them understand it. Don't join the train of people to complain. And then instead of you challenging the status quo, you just get into the whole normal atmosphere and you people are just doing the normal. No. You see? So take it upon yourself, take action, take initiative. You can organize a training session, organize a workshop session with specific examples to help them understand these things. Once they understand it, I'm telling you, let me tell you, it's hardly ever a situation where, especially leadership, they will just wake up from their bed in the morning, come to work to be a pain in the neck. Hardly ever. Most of the times, when they're asking for unrealistic things, it's usually because they have the best interest at heart for the organization and they want the best. So they're usually coming from an honest, ignorant point. It's usually from a good place of ignorance. That's how I see it. So you need to close that gap. Joseph just said it. Great, Joseph. You need to close that gap. You need to close that gap of whether you need to train them or they just have mixed up concepts. You need to coach them. You need to mentor them, whatever you have to do. But that is an opportunity right there for you for improvement. So don't join them and complain. You see. Yeah, so don't join them and complain. So that is really my thought on this velocity point. But what I need you all to take out of everything I've said so far is number one, your goal as a team is supposed to be increase value, high quality value delivery to your organization and to your customers. And the better you get, the lower your velocity will become. Rather, instead of whatever they have in their head, that you will be increase the velocity, because what they are really looking at is numbers. That's the old way of working. That's the traditional way of working. That's what they are familiar with. So that's why I don't blame them, because that's what they know. You see, so they are really so big on looking these numbers. Velocity is that number that they are looking for. So now, since Agile is not the ordinary way, and that's the beauty of Agile, is the extraordinary way of working with a lot of different things going into it, and until someone really understands these things, because before they can even better help their organization, that is why you need to help them expose the way Agile really works. Help them understand that what we are looking for here is to increase value delivery to our customers and not velocity. Because the customers are not using velocity at the end of the day. They don't care about velocity. You see, they don't care about velocity. Another thing about this whole velocity, so I hope that is clear. If anyone has any question around that, so let me just give a pause. I have another very important thing to discuss, again, still regarding this velocity, but this is more at team level. This is more at team level. So I'm just gonna give a pause and let people ask their question regarding this velocity, though. Not other so many questions. I just want us to be focused and really get the best out of this velocity topic. So let me run through the comment section here. Let me run through the comment section here and all right, 1 second. I need to respond to this. All right. I'm just typing, please. Mm. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let me run through the questions that we have. So KKKNNJ is saying, I think the problem here is that we misuse the word improve and increase. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that may, yeah, you can look at it that way. You can look at it that way, yeah. And then Healthy with Benna says velocity is not invisible because you are shipping a valuable, usable increment at the end of each sprint. Okay. Grace, please, I want to ask, how do you calculate capacity planning for Kanban teams? Okay, we can visit that later, but let's first of all, because we want to be focused, let's discuss the velocity questions first. Velocity should be more of productive and planning rather than predictive and planning. All right, I'm struggling to understand that, Prince. Velocity is really just a predictability tool, though. If that's the same thing you're saying, velocity is not absolute. You see, velocity is not absolute, it's just a predictability tool. And until your organization is agile, before they can even understand this. What I mean by they need to be agile first. Here, the mindset, the being agile part of things before they can even do agile. So until they have that understanding on why you are using what metrics, and it's your role as an agile practitioner to help them understand these things. If not, they would understand whatever they want to understand based on their way, their history, based on their background. You see. Okay. Thank you, Prince. Velocity is the most abused word in Scrum. Thank you. I agree with you 100%. All right. Yeah, so you cannot Frida just said something. Frida said goes back to why velocity is not best to measure performance of a team. Clearly, that's a very terrible thing to want to do, to measure the performance of your team by looking at whether their velocity is going up or down. No, you don't want to do that. So for all our Scrum Masters on the ground, if you know that you have that in your performance review, your performance goal, trust me, you've already set yourself up for failure. You've already set yourself up for failure straight. And that particular thing will urge teams to start faking or intentionally buffering their numbers. And that's not good. That's not good. They will intentional increase their estimations. You don't want that for your team. This brings us back to the Scrum values. It brings us back to the Scrum values. You want your teams to be honest. You see, so most of the times when you see your teams start exhibiting faulty behaviors that are against the agile behaviors, then you need to come back as leaders, come back to yourselves as leadership to ask yourself, why is the team acting like that? It's hardly ever a situation where teams will just wake up one morning and start behaving like that. Gradually, because of the pressure they put on them, they want to cover their butt. They want to make sure that their butts are covered. You see, so they will give you numbers, the numbers you want to see. They'll give it to you. You don't want to be. Don't push your teams to do that. Don't. All right. Yeah. So Prince said velocity is like a speed limit. That's very true. I can also just use an analogy for those who may still be struggling with understanding what velocity is. So if you don't even understand what velocity is, you may not even make sense out of what we are talking about today. So I need you to see velocity as the weight. It's just an estimate, right? But is the weight. So they're estimating each piece of work, the weight of that each piece of work. So the second part of this discussion today will really help explain this further. So, but let's quickly run through this chat here. Okay, all customers care about is when so healthy with the Benna is saying that all what customer care about is when will this be done. And no, so the most of what customers care about, trust me, is the value they are getting from whatever you're producing. Most of the times you will see customers focusing on when will this be done if they don't understand the agile ways of working. And that is why you cannot do agile if you are not agile. And being agile part, the being agile part of things is not only within your organization, it has to translate to the people you're serving, the sponsors, the people sponsoring your business. It has to translate to them, which means that at the end of the day, you want to make sure you're incorporating or integrating agility in your strategies. That way, you people, both sponsors, business people, team, they are aligning on expectation so that they will know that focusing on when this will be done is the wrong focus. They would rather be focusing on what value are we going to be receiving this time. That's what they'll be focusing on, as opposed to the timeline. They'll be focusing on the value, the outcome. All right. So in terms of interview, how do you answer the question, how do you increase velocity for your team? Olabisi, that's exactly why we are addressing those topics today. So everything I've just addressed here today, I suggest that's what you'll be taking into your interview if you have one coming up. Help them understand, make sure that you understand their question though. And then help them understand that the question, there is a better thing to increase instead of velocity. Explain it to them. That's exactly why we're here today. All right, velocity is just a number, right? Munya, I agree with you. And if the management needs that, then the team can just give them exactly. If you're pressuring me, I'll just give you what you want to hear. So you leave me alone. All right, in line with velocity and getting estimation right, can you please clarify the relationship between the story estimation in points and in hours? So, Joseph, I think that's a good question. So, the story pointing estimation technique, which is a relative estimation technique, it has some criteria that you go by as a team to finally decide on which number on the Fibonacci series to allocate to a specific work item, whether it's a user story or whatever, you see. And this basis, or what you call criteria of this of estimation, are three. They are summarized into three: the complexity of the work, the effort, which is the hours you're talking about. Effort is the same as hours. The effort, the risk involved. Those are the three bases of estimation. So you see, this hour is just one factor or criteria of the things that the team have in mind as they allocate these numbers from the Fibonacci series to their user stories. That is the relationship it has. And that is why relative estimation is most preferred in the agile space, because it takes into account these three factors, which are crucial. But with the absolute estimation technique, they don't take into account the three factors. They only take into account the hours, which is the effort. And which means they are looking for what? Perfection. You see, they are looking for perfection at that point. And as long as you hear the term estimate, you can never have a perfect estimate. Ever. You can never. So that's why the absolute estimation technique has been deemed faulty. That's why it has been deemed faulty. And that is why the most preferred estimation technique in this agile space, again, is the relative estimation technique, which story pointing is just one of the so many different relative estimation techniques out there. So you see, that's a relationship that story pointing estimation technique has with ours. So ours is just one of the basis of estimation. So team members, these are the three things they'll have in their head as they are locating these numbers. Now, okay, based on the complexity of this work, based on the risk that may be involved in this work, based on the considering everything we know so far regarding the story, and then based on the hours that we think we may spend to accomplish this story, we think it should be a 3. That's how it usually goes. All right, Joseph, I hope that answers your question. So KKKNNJ saying, in my teams, we use story points as a point of reference to measure velocity. Would increasing velocity be adding value in this type of? Okay, so I'm not sure when you joined the conversation. But I urge you to go back to the video. Now you cannot increase velocity. That's what I'm saying. You cannot increase your team velocity. That is if you get all those 3 things already right. If you have found your average, that baseline, if you have discovered that average, if you're doing estimation right. What was the last thing I said? I don't remember. So if you are doing your estimation right, and then you have found your average, I said one other thing, I don't remember, then you cannot increase velocity. Okay, and then the third thing, if your team is stable, because anytime a new team member get into the team or leave the team, it affects your velocity, your average velocity. So if you have these 3 things in check, then you cannot increase velocity. It's just what it is. It's the same as you say that you're looking to increase capacity, but nobody has added to your team. It's still the same team size, and then you're looking to increase capacity. You cannot increase capacity because it's just what it is. People only have 8 hours to give in a day. Unless you're saying that you will clone them. Unless you're saying you will clone your team members to be 2 individual. You take 1 team member and clone into 2. Or unless you're saying that they will work overtime. That's the only time you can increase capacity. You see, for the same number of people, that's the only time you can increase capacity. And that's a terrible idea to make your people overwork because you're looking to increase capacity. All right. Pascal, isn't the velocity to identify the team cadence where they perform best while delivering the value of the customers? Yeah, that is it. It's just an estimated quantity of work that they can deliver in a consistent and sustainable manner. Sustainable is the key word here. You see? So that's just it. The better they get as they improve, they know more on the work, and then they start doing repetitively. You should rather expect the velocity to drop instead of increasing. The more they improve, the more your velocity drops. As they improve, the velocity drops, and then now they can now pick more work, bringing more work into the sprints to fill up the gap that you have been able, that vacuum that together as a team you have worked so hard to create, which will now translate into increase in value as opposed to increase in velocity. Yeah. Olabisi, you're welcome. If you push the team so much on velocity, it will lead to falsification. Clearly, I already mentioned that, Prince. And again, team, just before I forget, for those who already know, some don't know, YouTube has qualified us to get PECs. That's how they call it. I don't know. Where you can show your support or appreciation on the work we do here, the quality content we bring here. They think we are doing a really good job. So they've made that available. So if you look on the chat box right down, where the emoji sign thing is there, you see a dollar thing there. So if you feel like you want to support us in any way, show your appreciation, anything, just click on that dollar thing. It will give you options there. So I just thought I'd let you all know. But yes, YouTube thing, again, thanks to you all support, your reaction, your encouragement, YouTube also agrees with you that we are doing an amazing job on this platform, and it's all thanks to you. All right, Prince, estimation is just like force. Yeah, hit them nail. All right, okay. So, the second part of this discussion today that I'd like us to address again, I think it's also critical again in this velocity line of conversation. Before I address that point, I also just want to put it out there. Our KKKNNJ, thank you so much. No, that's Olabisi. Olabisi, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. It means a lot. Very encouraging. So I just also want to put it out there. Our Scrum Master Level 1 training, the February session is coming up. It starts on the 1st, which is Tuesday. So if you are looking to transition into this agile career path, if you're looking to transition maybe from whatever background, and again, just to let you all know, anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. As long as you are learnable. Learnable means that you're ready to learn, you're open, you have an open mind to want to learn, and then you really want to succeed and you're committed. If you're learnable, you're committed, you can definitely transition very smoothly into this agile career path, and we can help you. You see, we can help you. So you can start from anywhere. It doesn't matter if you've been a teacher, if you've been a software engineer, if you've been a project manager, pharmacist, doctor. All these are all of the categories of people that we have in our program, and that's the beauty of our program, because we have people from all walks of life coming with all this diverse background. It's usually knowledge packed. So get started. Visit. So I have pinned a message here. The message that was put by Being Agile Consulting. Just click on the link there. It will take you directly to our website. You can enroll to participate in our February upcoming training session. That's what we call the level 1. And then, by the way, so it's also highly encouraged that make sure that you enroll as soon as possible, like today or tomorrow, because they will need to give you your assignments that you have to complete before connecting for the class on Tuesday. So please do not hesitate. Send us an email if you have any issue enrolling online, because right now our systems are going through updates. So you may find it challenging to enroll online. So just send an email and they will send you the manual enrollment form. As I send you the manual enrollment form, you can just go ahead. It's pretty easy. Just fill it out and then we'll help you get on board. Now that is it. And then for people that are already in the job market, that's the biggest problem. It's not, they don't talk about it so much. I don't know why. That's the biggest problems. That's one of the huge problems that people face in this space, because they go for training, they are trained, but they don't guide them enough. KKKNNJ, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for your support. They don't guide them, or they are not always very transparent with them to let them know that having a certification doesn't make you a Scrum Master. You are only a Scrum Master certified. You are not a professional Scrum Master. There is a huge difference. So they don't expose these things to people, and then people get into the job market with an intention or with an understanding that they have gotten the training, then they should be getting jobs now. And then they start putting applications out there, and nobody's calling them. Even if they call them, they'll go for interview, they don't give them the jobs. And with that, they start getting frustrated, they start getting demotivated, and gradually they give up. Karin Tower, Ngenwe, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You see, they get demotivated because they were misinformed, or they were not informed enough to know how this thing really works. And then another part that I have found, another thing that I've noticed, which I think it's very proper to talk about here, is for some reason, people think that, okay, I have already gotten the training, so it should be very easy to get a job. So even if I'm looking for a mentor, it should not be anything. I think I just need a very good resume, and then I just need guidance on interview prep. That's what a lot of people think, that that's the key word. They just need to, someone even said, I just want you to make me a sweet. A very sweet, nice resume. That's what somebody called and told me. And I don't think I need to go through any. I just need a very sweet resume, and then I think I'll be good. I can make you the best resume ever. I don't have any problem with that. You will get those calls for sure. But just because your resume is so sweet, you get the calls, it doesn't give you the job. It doesn't. And that's the worst thing instead. That is why sometimes when I see people after they finish training, their trainers make resumes for them and give it to them. That's a very wrong thing. It's very wrong because you set your students up for failure. And in the long run, they will get demotivated and then they give up. You don't want to do that. I think it's wrong because all of these things you've put in this student's resume, you have not done your due diligence to make sure that they understand everything on this resume. Renee, thank you for joining. Uchena, thank you for joining. These are my people. These are my people from our Agile family. Thank you so much. Yeah, so you set your students up for failure because they have a different understanding as they go into the job market. They call these people for interview. They go for interview. All these things you put on their very sweet, nice looking selling resume, they are not able to defend it because you did not do your due diligence to make sure that they are able to defend every single word on their resume. And then they keep going for interviews and going for interviews and going for interviews. They get all these interviews, but they are not able to cross to the other side. What do you think will happen? They will not believe in the Agile anymore. They will not even believe in this possibility. The hope they had will drop from 10 to nothing to 0. So you see, you don't even know what you don't know. That's the problem. You don't know what you don't know. So the next time you're reaching out to us, rather than telling us what you think you need, because if you knew what you needed, trust me, you would not be in that situation. If you knew what you needed, you would have you should have already gotten the solution and get the job. You don't even know what you don't know. That's the fact. So that's why we are there as mentors, to help guide you through a clear, well-structured scope to give you exactly what you need to successfully go through your interview. Not only going through your interview successfully, but be successful on the job long term. That's how we measure success. Ulochi, thank you so much. That's my person. Thank you all so much. Yeah, that's how you measure success. Again, coming back to these trainers, to some of the trainers that will make resumes for their students at the end of the class and then just put them out there, just let them go figure it out. These students may even get the jobs though. They may get the jobs, but what's the point of landing the job and then not able to keep it? Have you built them to be able to successfully keep these jobs long term? Have you done that? That is a big problem. So if you are only a certification holder, right, I am certain that you don't know what you don't know. You don't. And that is why the mentoring program, our level 2 mentoring program, is for. That's the purpose for that program. A lot of people even join the program with an understanding that, they know a lot, because we typically ask you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. On a scale of 1 to 10, we typically ask you to rate yourself how well you think you have this understanding. People would say 9, 9. I think even 10. And then when they get into the program, they become the most humble ever, because they start discovering their gaps. Their gaps become exposed. Some people even said something was wrong with, they think something is wrong with them. Like they are so into the whole idea that something is wrong somewhere, because they go for their interviews and then they do really well. The interviewers don't call them back. They think something is not, something is not right with them. Somebody is doing something to them. Like, I know these things happen, but 99% of the time, trust me, it's usually a gap that you don't know. And once you finally identify that gap and close it, you would definitely land that goal. You would definitely achieve that goal. And that, again, referencing our level 2 program, that program is only designed for people who already have the theoretical knowledge, they are certified, and then they are in the job market. Some, maybe you're just starting, you just got into the job market. Others, Chanel, I didn't want to mention your name, but you owned up to it. Yeah, I didn't want to mention your name. So Chanel is one of our program members. So, but thank you for for speaking for yourself. Yeah. So if you're in between just having a certification and landing the job, we can help you close that gap. We can help you close that gap very easily. But I just want to put this disclaimer. We don't have any job on the shelf that we want to pick and give to you. Yeah, so Maggie, yeah, people would say they are village people. They are village people. I mean, like, this is serious though. They will call me on a one-on-one, like they will call me like urgently. They really care. I really want to talk to you. I really need to talk to you. There's something very important I need to talk to you about. And then I would, it's okay, no problem. I look for a time and connect, and then they start explaining this thing to me. They're really wanting me to believe. I mean, to really see reasons that John, yes, there is a payment plan. There is a payment plan. So just send an email. Send an email. So that payment, we don't have the payment plan on online on the website because we we definitely prefer a one-time payment. But if you are looking for a payment plan, send an email. They will send you the manual enrollment form that has that information, and then you just use that information. Yeah. So I would pick the call and they start explaining it to me, relating it to wherever they came from, that they think somebody is not acting, somebody don't like them. Someone even said that the recruiter I hope the person is not online today. I don't remember who said that. Somebody was so convinced that the recruiter someone was so convinced that their recruiter changed their resume, changed things in their resume to set them up for failure. Someone someone was so convinced that their recruiter took their resume and changed things in it so that they shouldn't go past the interview. Like, these recruiters, we are business for them. As a candidate, you are a business for a recruiter. Why would a recruiter spend their time call you, invest all this time, because that's investment of time, invest all this time to discuss with you, and then take your information and then change things on your resume so that you go fail the interview? Like, no, just reason it. Just try to reason it. Yeah, so Vincent, the duration of our level 2 program is 2 months. So again, like I said, we've pinned a message, the Being Agile Consulting. Just go there, the link, just click on that link. It will take you to our website. It has all the information well structured on a one nice place. You don't have to struggle. So when you go there, just click on Get Started button. As you click on Get Started button, you see, it will take you directly to all that information. Very well structured, nice, one place. Uchena, honestly, just join level 2, stay committed, watch all the videos. Exactly. We have a lot to offer in level 2, which I may not be communicating online. Uchena is saying that because he used to be in our level 2 program. Thankfully, he got his job, not only one, numerous offers. Yeah, so team, that is really it. That's really it. Identify your gap. Don't be too quick to blame other people for your failure. Don't be too quick to blame systems. Don't be too quick to blame process. Don't be too quick to blame your interviewer. No. If something is not going right with you, come back and assess your own self. What am I not doing right? Jean-Philippe, level 3 is for professionals. Level 3, AJ, so these are our channel members. So thank you all so much for believing in us and for supporting us. Your support has been everything to us. So to your question, level 3 is for professionals, people that are already working as Agile Coach, Scrum Masters, release train engineers, delivery managers, and then they are struggling with their jobs. They come to us, we help them through the process and help them to be value adding in the organization and be successful. That's what we do in level 3. But if you've passed through our level 2, you don't need level 3. I like to make sure I tell people that, even though some people from our level 2 will still choose to go take it, but I make sure I tell them that they don't need it, because everything you need to be successful is given to you in level 2. So that's what level 3 is all about. So don't be too quick to judge people. Don't be too quick to judge people. So AJ, to your point, the challenge with our level 3 program is that it's always backfilled though. At this point, we are already booked until June, I think. Yeah. But sometimes most people will be on the waiting list in case anything changes, and then they'll feed them in. That's how it usually works. Yeah. So again, look for your gap. If you identify your gap, I'm telling you, especially if you really want this career at level 2, we know for a fact that we can help you through that successfully, coming out in flying colors. You're transformed, not just landing the job, but you will be effective on the job. Your whole being will be transformed. It's just like gold going through fire. When gold goes through fire, it becomes refined. That is what the program does to you. It's not only about interview prep. That's why sometimes people think that it should be cheaper than what it is. I'm telling you, anybody that has gone through our program, with what we have to offer in the program, they always say that we are very cheap. They always say that we are very cheap because, like I said, at the end of the day, it's not only about that interview, because we know for a fact that that's not all you need. That's not it. So we know the value we are delivering, and measuring the value you get out of the program and the money you pay, I'm telling you, you cannot even compare it. You cannot, for a fact, that I know. Bola, I know your name. Bola, thank you for joining. Yeah, Bola used to be one of my level 3 students, not students, mentees. Bola was with me for 2 rounds. Bola wanted to even go the 3rd round. I'm like, Bola, you don't do. I'm like, Bola, you don't do. Bola, you're good. I believe in you. You're good. So, so please, if you truly want to be helped, we are there for you. We are there for you. Believe me. But again, I was about to make a disclaimer before I got distracted. I don't have any job seated on the shelf that I'll pick and give to you. We don't. Because sometimes people will call, and one of the questions they're asking, is it a 100% guarantee that at the end of the program you're getting a job? A lot of trainers will tell you yes. And I can tell you anything to make you come into the program, but that's just not me. I'm not wired to function like that. I'm not. So it is not, well, even though I know that the materials that we give to you, we are 100% sure that it will definitely give you beyond what you were expecting. That is for a fact. But I cannot agree to you that at the end of the program, it is guaranteed that you will have a job. If I'm saying that, it means that I am telling you that I have a job that I will give to you, and I don't. For a fact, I don't. However, if you do these 2 things, if you are committed, you follow simple directions, you do these 2 things, following the direction we give you, and you're committed, it's more than 100%. It's 200% guarantee that you'll be getting your job, more than what you expected. And not just any ordinary job with good pay, because we walk you through the process of, we just transform you to have that confidence to not even see yourself as a junior. Anybody that has gone through our program, you should not be applying for junior Scrum Masters roles, if at all there is anything like a junior Scrum Master role. Anybody that has gone through our program, you should be seeing yourself as a senior. You should be, our program, we make Agile coaches out of the program. We make portfolio managers out of the program. We make delivery managers out of the program, senior Scrum Masters, basic Scrum Masters. It all depends on your level of confidence, because we know that the materials that we give you, it qualifies you to do that job. We know it for a fact. Yeah, so that is what a program gives you, 100%. I'm very certain. All right. So I would like us to finish the remaining part of this discussion. I've already gone past the time I estimated to be online. Yeah, so but I can either talk about this another time, or we can finish it today. All right, let me just quickly run through the comment section here to see if we have some questions to address. Yeah, and then we go from there. Okay, so Jean-Philippe, the best level. I think Sheila responded to that. Ben Sheila, you're doing a good job with with being an admin today. Thank you so much, girl. Appreciate it. That's my bestie. She's always there to support me. Even though I'm a pain in hand on her neck, but she's always there to support me. That's my bestie. All right. So the best level to recommend for a beginner, Jean-Philippe, for a beginner, you will need level 1 and 2, starting with level 1. If you go on the website, you see the prerequisite for you to be in level 2 is that you must be certified. Again, that's a recommendation. It's not like a must thing, but it's a recommendation because we know that's what will set you up for success. And we don't want you to be confused. We don't want you to be overwhelmed. So, but um, we suggest that you start with level 1 so that it gives you the solid foundation you need to be able to move forward to level 2. So once you go through your level 1 program, you now go sit for your certification exams, which PSM is our preferred. And we prefer PSM for so many different reasons. It's great. It's awesome. They didn't ask me to promote their product, but I'm just telling you because I am very sure on what I'm talking about. It's a great certification. It challenges you. Some people say the exams is challenging, but I usually ask them, which training did you take? Where did you go for your training? Because if you go through our training, that exam should not be challenging. You see, but comparing PSM and CSM, clearly PSM is more challenging because it provokes your thought. It provokes your thought, and the questions are usually confusing and similar, but our program guides you to be successful. Yeah, so once you take your certification and then you have that solid foundation, then you move up to level 2. So yes, you will need level 1 and 2 to achieve your goal, and you should be estimating approximately 3 months. Level 1 is a 1-month program, and then level 2 is a 2-month program. So you should estimate averagely 3 months to be able to land that goal, achieve that goal of becoming a working Scrum Master or whatever you're looking for. Yeah. I'm sure which to choose. Okay. So AJ, are you saying you're not sure which to choose, or are you saying you're sure which to choose? I'm not sure what your question is. When does level 2 start? So Kwyonyon, I'm sure I pronounced your name correctly. If I missed it, I'm sorry. So for level 2, we have a session tomorrow. So you can start on a Monday or any Wednesday. The way it is structured is very flexible. So you can start on any Monday or any Wednesday. You will not be missing out on anything. But level 1, it's a monthly session. So so we just rounded up our January session, and I believe it was great. And from feedback from students, they thought it was great. We just rounded up on Thursday. So the next session, which is a February session, is starting on the 1st, which is Tuesday, the 1st of February. So please, if you don't wait, I usually tell my students that the most dangerous word that has ever existed in dictionary is tomorrow. I think that's the most dangerous word that has ever existed in the dictionary. You know why? Because tomorrow translates to procrastination. Why tomorrow? Why don't you just do it now? Why don't you just do it now? What are you waiting for? You can easily, when you have that tomorrow mentality, you would easily always see so many reasons why you should wait until tomorrow. But as you progress into this tomorrow, you become demoralized, different things. You don't know what will happen between now and tomorrow. So just do it. The best way to achieve your goal or to be successful is just to start it. You don't necessarily need to know it all. You don't necessarily need to know it all from the beginning, but just start. Just start from somewhere. And that is, again, the beauty of Agile. Because in Agile, we don't need to know it all. We just need to know just enough. There's something we say in Agile, just enough, just in time. We just need to know just enough to get started. And that's why I'm giving you just enough of what you need to get started. Don't wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow is a dangerous word. And please, if you are a tomorrow person, take tomorrow out of your head, because that's one of the key setbacks you have. I'm telling you. All right. All right. So Julia is asking, how do we register for level 2? Julia, is very simple. Just go on the link on our website. So we've pinned a message here. Go to the message that has been put by BeingAgile. Click on the link there, www.beingagileconsulting.com. It will take you to our website. That's simple. Just enroll directly. But I stated that our website is currently going through updates, so you may encounter some challenges when you try to make your payment. If that's the case, simple. Just send an email and say you're requesting for the enrollment form. They'll send it to you, and that's it. Once you make your payment, that's it. They will get you on board within 1 hour. Very simple. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you so much for staying on top of your game with providing clarity and information to people. Karen, is there a real deal and walked the walk to know and share the hands on experience? Yes, Pascal, that's what our level 2 does. That's why I say that the price you pay for what you get out of level 2, trust me, you cannot compare. You cannot. The value you get out of level 2 is everything. The team, the peers, the atmosphere is just everything. People supporting each other, building themselves up for success. It's a real practical environment, though. And with all of that, eventually, that's how you will land your job in the process of building yourself and you understand what it takes to be successful in the job. All right, Annie. Okay. So that just Joseph said you're out of time box. Very true. Very true. I'm out of time box, and that's not a good practice. But because of you all, I choose to still give you some of my time. Yeah, I don't mind for today, though, just for today. But that's not going to be the habit. We don't want to adopt that kind of habit. We want to practice what we preach. What can you advise? So HD is asking, what can you advise to someone who was able to get a PSM1 and is now in the search but don't have enough finances to sign for level 2? So my best advice to you, HD, is whenever you're ready, you can get into the program. It's always available. So I usually tell people, if you truly want something, you will save up for it. I've seen people saving up to get how do you call this? Um my pastor usually mentioned this name. Libotin, if that's the name. I've seen people saving up to get Libotin shoes. I've seen people saving up for that because Libotin is important to them. You see, I know that people have different situations and background which you cannot really compare like that. But again, it's just to whenever you're ready, and being ready is save up for it. All right. AJ, I'm not sure which to choose. Should I select level 2 even though I'm a working Scrum Master since level 3 is booked out? I'm ready. Well, so AJ, I wouldn't also want to set you up for something that may not be very valuable to you. Level 2 is extremely valuable because you would see our students that will graduate from level 2. That's when they got their jobs earlier on, but they don't want to leave level 2. Their program is over, but they don't. It's always a struggle to make them leave. I mean, if some of them are here, they can tell you. They can clearly tell you. It's usually a struggle to make them let them understand that you don't need this anymore. But they always usually think they need it because they think there is always value in it. Like I said, it's not only about interview. You learn a lot from level 2. You learn a lot from level 2. However, level 3 has been designed because level 3 is one-on-one. That is why it's always backfield. It's not a class setting, it's a one-on-one. So that's an opportunity where you come with your challenges. But if you're looking to enhance your understanding, your knowledge on Agile and Scrum, people will take level 3 and they will take level 1. Because level 1, which is training, it's quite different from the standard trainings out there, like the training through Scrum Alliance or Scrum.org, in the sense that it is customized, though. It is customized to reflect real life, even though it's from a theoretical perspective. So we even have a lot of level 3 students that they'll start their program, and then in the course of the program, I will be mentioning things that they've never heard before. And then that's when you start exposing their gaps through that program. And then they realize that, oh, it seems like I need level 1. I need to go back and build my foundation. And then they'll go back and take level 1. So AJ, I'm suggesting that instead of you thinking about level 2, you should rather take level 1 to build yourself. Knowledge is confidence. Knowledge automatically translates to confidence. To build yourself, to acquire that solid foundation you need, and then also then through the level 3 program, we will now be applying whatever you're learning from level 1 to the level 3 as we are going. So that one you can take it concurrently. Yeah, that you can take it concurrently. Yeah, so that's how it works. All right. Yeah, that's how it works. So you can start from level 1, and then you see how you start from level 3. You will clearly identify your gaps, but level 3 is backfill though. And then you can take level 1. You will clearly a lot of people have done that. Okay. And yeah, Anne is one of our you see, Anne is open. So I tried so hard not to mention names of people. Anne is one of our, I should be saying ex level 2 students, even though Anne has decided to hold grass. There's something we say hold grass. Anne has decided to hold grass, not to leave level 2. We finally come to an understanding that, okay, Anne, I'll just leave you here for a little bit, like 2 weeks, but you'll have to leave. So she's just one of the kind of people I'm talking about. She has landed her jobs, 3 offers, not only one. So is the person I'm referring to here is Uhamo Uhamohoro. That's the name she has on here. Yeah, that's the person I'm referring to. She said, "That's me. I don't want to go." Exactly. That's what and Anne is just one of the so many people. It's a trend though. It's a pattern. Most people that go through a level 2 program never want to leave. We usually used to hijack them, hijack them to pull them out of level 2. You see, yeah, it's just a very fantastic program. I mean, I can proudly say that any day, anytime. All right, so I would like to be rounding up now, so I can give you 4 extra minutes so we can close at 4 p.m. Central Time. So if anyone has any question, please send them my way. Send them before we go. Yeah, so we don't offer SAFE, but our level 1 program gives you everything you're supposed to know to be functional as a Scrum Master in a safe environment. But we are not a safe trainer environment. We don't train on safe certification. But let me tell you something. We have like almost everybody that has gone through our program. They some of them that has the safe certification. I'm usually the one training them on what this safe is all about. And then I'm asking, so what, you have a safe certification, so what do you learn in your safe certification? They typically tell me, Karen, please forget about that one. Just forget about that one. I'm like, why do I have to pay the price for someone else's gain? I don't have to do that. But however, our level 1 program is structured. So that's why I said it's highly customized though. It is customized to cover everything you're supposed to know on the ground as a Scrum Master. It doesn't only cover Scrum, because that is the standard curriculum. This curriculum is to cover Scrum. Like if you go through Scrum Alliance or Scrum.org, the curriculum is Scrum. But our program that's the beauty of the program, because it's customized to capture beyond Scrum. It's customized to capture everything you're supposed to know on the ground to be successful as a Scrum Master, even though it's from a theoretical perspective. A typical example would be we cover in depth of Scrum. We give you a good overview of the waterfall way of managing projects, because you have to have that understanding before you can easily be empathetic with the people you'll be working on. That is, if they are coming from that kind of background, you need to know where they're coming from. So we give you an overview of waterfall. We give you enough of what you're supposed to know in Kanban. We give you enough of what you're supposed to know in a safe environment. We give you all of that. I can tell you there are a lot of people that even have the release train engineers safe certification. But our program is typically the ones helping them with these questions because they don't know. You see, so our program is customized to cover these things. It covers some of the engineering practices, like even XP, DevOps, CI/CD. Yeah, that's just a typical example on how the program is structured. I cannot list all those things out here right now because I don't remember. But yes, our program is highly customized to reflect real life. That's how it is. Yeah, but if you're looking to get a safe certification, we don't offer training for safe certification. We don't. Sheila, you're doing an amazing job. Thank you. I owe you one. So Benito Consulting is asking, you made mention of the best certification body. Please, does it mean certification from Scrum Institute is not okay? Well, I wouldn't say, because I don't know for sure. But what I can tell you is that, so if you can easily verify this thing though, just go on LinkedIn, on these job platforms. Go on LinkedIn, go on Indeed. Just go look up Scrum Master jobs, and then go on their requirements, minimum requirement. The certifications you typically see listed there, you would see CSM, you would see PSM, because those are the ones that are really familiar, that a lot of organizations know. And I know about those ones because I am part of them. That's how I know. And I know that they are good. But for the Scrum Institute one, I cannot speak for it because I don't know. But these two that I'm referencing are the typical ones that organizations would always ask, because they've done a good job with selling themselves and putting their product in the market, and organizations are now aware of them, and that's why they usually request it, you see. But I cannot speak for Scrum Institute because I don't know enough to be able to speak on it. All right, I got my PSM and SSM already. Good job, Tessie. How much do I need to pay for coaching? So, Tessie, as Sheila said, just click on the link on the message on this chat box posted by Being Agile Consulting. It's right there. It's the first message on the top. Click on it. Click on that link. It will take you to our website. It has all of the information you need regarding the program. Assuming I'm thinking you will be in level 2, it has all of that, the payment, everything you need to know. All right, Chanel. Okay, thank you, Chanel, for that clarification. Karen, what do you recommend for agile online games to build and motivate a new team? I wouldn't remember that at the top of my head, but there are so many of them. There's so many of them. So again, because you put me on the spot, my recommendation is just go look that up online on Google. Google has a ton of them. Just put whatever question you've posted here, just go put it on Google. They'll give you so many good examples. Okay, you're welcome, Benito Consulting. You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, so Vincent says the link is not working, so I'm just going to type it again. Even on the description box, you will see that on the description box. So let me just grab the link here. I'm just going to grab the link here, and then I'm going to be sharing with you in a bit. Just give me 1 second. I'm just going to grab the link. All right. So if you go to the description box on all of our videos, you would see the link that will take you directly to the forms. So I just posted it again. And then I will be pinning that. Yes, I just posted the link again, and then I just pinned that link again. So we are rounding up now, but you all know Annie is asking, how many hours in a month would we meet if we enroll? Do we have sessions daily? We have sessions twice a week, Annie. For level 2, the live sessions, all this information is on the website. The live sessions is every Monday and Wednesday. But for level 1, the live sessions is every Tuesday and Thursday. Level 2 is from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Level 1 is from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central Time. However, for the level 2, even level 1, the way our program is structured, it's very flexible to accommodate everybody because we serve clients globally. With all this time constraints, we've been able to identify this time I just mentioned as that golden hour that works for most people. But the program is designed in a way that you can continuously build yourself at your own time, because anything that we may ever be discussing in the live sessions are already made available to you through videos. Like the same thing we are talking about here, all the scope of what we can ever cover in this program are already available through videos. So once you enroll in the program, they give you access to these materials, tons of materials that covers everything you need to know to be successful in this path, to land that interview, to land a job and be successful in the job. That's for level 2 though. Level 1 is also structured the same. That's why I say, if you're looking to be trained in this February session, you need to enroll ahead of time so that you will have the chance to complete your lectures before connecting for the live session. So that's how it's structured. So this 1 hour live session is just to meet and clarify on some certain things, but everything that we can ever discuss in the live sessions are already available to you. So because we've discussed these things at some point in the past, for a fact. So that's how it works. Yeah, so that's why you see someone like Uchenna. If Uchenna is still online, Uchenna is just one example. Tony is another. We have so many examples. People, they spend only 10 days in the program, 10 days, and they land their jobs. Because all this, you cannot tell me that 10 days you attend. I think that would be only 4 classes within 10 days. There's no way you can attend only 4 classes and land that job. But because we've already made all these materials available to you, we give you access to these videos, and then you continuously build yourself at your own time. That's how they were able to achieve their goal so fast. You see? So again, it all depends on how quickly you want this. Yeah. So this 1 hour live session is just a plus to you. It's just a plus. So if you really want to get going, don't keep waiting for tomorrow, because that tomorrow will never come. All right. Yeah, all right. Yeah, Uchenna is still online. Uchenna can speak for himself. Uchenna is saying, yeah, Uchenna landed his job within 10 days in the program. I use Uchenna as an example a lot because his name is so easy to remember. And he was one of the students that didn't even give me hard times at all. Because most people would call me. All the materials are already available, but they just feel like if they don't talk to me, then they cannot go through the interview successfully. But I never heard Uchenna got in the program. I never heard from Uchenna. Uchenna never said anything until when he started getting interviews. He only sent his interview feedback to me. That's why I like Uchenna so much, because he didn't give me any hard times at all. So that's why I usually use him as an example. All right. It's been an amazing time with you all. Even though I would love to stay here with you, but I would have to go to face my front on my other commitment. But thank you all so much. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. And to Sheila, I appreciate you, bestie. Talk to you all later. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.